hope everyone's having a good week. I know that I am. Now today for tea I'm doing Greek chicken with mashed potatoes. So let's get started. So first of all I'm going to spray my frying pan and I'm going to cook my chicken schnitzels, the ones that you get from Woolies or Coles. They're the thin chicken schnitzels.
So are they crumbed?
No, they're uncrumbed, so they're just like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cook those. I'll just plug my frying pan in for 5 minutes, then put them on the plate and then do the rest of the ingredients, which is a can of cherry tomatoes, onion, garlic, 1 jar of, how do you say, passata sauce. Okay, so it's really easy. So first of all, I'm going to cook my chicken. So there's 5 of us today, so I'm going to do, some breasts are bigger than the other, but I'm going to cook them all together. Like, see, that's a little thing. And they're just the thin chicken schnitzels that I got from Woolies, or they're called chicken steaks at Coles. But as you can see, they're just the really thin schnitzels, chicken breast. So that's 2 packets that I've got. So we're going to cook that till they're brown. Okay, so let's have a look at our chicken. Sort of turn it, because what you're going to do is you're just going to sort of brown it, and then once you make the sauce, you put it back in the frying pan, and then you simmer it for about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes, until the chicken's cooked through. So this is what we're having for lunch today, everybody. With mashed potatoes, yummy, yum, yum, yum.
Yum, can't wait.
Yum. I'm going to be hungry. Hungry. Okay. So just, like, they don't take really long. Probably if you wanted to cook, they don't take that long. I might turn them again. Just turn them again, because some of them aren't as brown, but I will turn them again. So, and I've got the frying pan up high, which is really good. And what I tend to do when I'm cooking chicken like that, to keep the moisture in so it doesn't dry out, I put the lid on the frying pan, and that keeps the steam in it, and it sort of like makes it nice and moist so your chicken doesn't dry out.
Good,
so that's
good tip there, Trace.
Yeah, very good tip. So Carolyn, what books have you been reading lately?
Well, I read 2 books in a series.
Okay, what series was that?
I don't know what the series was called, but they were set in a vineyard in New South Wales.
Oh, okay, Australian author?
Yes, so her name is Kayte Nunn.
Kayte Nunn, I've
Yes.
never read her.
I hadn't seen, we got a new copy of the second book through and I thought it sounded good, so I put a hold on the first one, which is called Rose's Vintage.
Oh, okay, good, sounds interesting.
Got that one in, yeah.
And the new Sarah Barrie book's coming out as well, isn't it?
It is.
She's really great, Sarah Barrie.
Got my name on the list for that one.
And you put my name on the list too. We talked about her. She did the was Hunter's Ridge series was the first one, and then the other one was like Dead Man's Track series.
Yes,
There were 3 books in that one.
They were really good.
They were really good. And you do need to read them in sequence, because the same people in each book as in the first book, and as the story progresses, so does what's happening. So Sarah Barrie is really good. I don't know the author of this of this book, but it's called The Nothing Man, and it's really good.
So what's that about?
It's about a guy that works as a security guard, and a girl writes a book about a nothing man who's a serial killer, and he just happens to be that serial killer, and he killed her whole family, and she was the only one survivor. So I've just started it. So that's what the book's about.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's really, really good. So yeah, there you go. So if you want to come over and have a look, see the moist the chicken is now that I've actually got it on like that. So what I will do now is I'm going to turn it over again. Now see how they're nice and moist?
Yep.
Yeah. So. And then you don't need to put oil in the pan when you go to put the garlic and the onion in because the chicken has sort of done it. So I think that's just about it. You don't need to cook it through because what happens is it'll cook itself through anyway. If you see a little bit of a pink bit, just turn it around. Okay, so we're done here. So I'll get those out. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to turn the frying pan off for the minute. And I'm going to get those out and put them on my plate. So they're not very, as you can see, they're not very thick. And then once you put them in the sauce, that you do it, and everything's in the frying pan, so it's really easy and quick, and not very many dishes. Like
could you do it in a pan on the stove?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do it on a pan on the stove. Just make sure you have like a lid on your frying pan so you keep all the moisture in so it doesn't dry out. Okay, so I'll put this here. So it's 1 clove of garlic and 1 onion. So I'll cut my garlic first. And then we'll just put the oil in and we fry it till it's translucent. And then we put in the other ingredients. Mix it all together. And then we put in our chicken. And we cook it till it's cooked through, which is probably about 15 to 20 minutes. And serve it with mashed potatoes. If you want another little hint, if you want to serve it a different way, if you don't want to have mashed potatoes or serve it on rice, get a pita bread and cut it in half. So you know how you make a pocket in a pita bread when you stuff stuff in it?
Yep.
And you could put it in there with the sauce like a little packet. That's another tip.
You could have that like for a lunch or something.
Yeah, for a lunch or something, yeah. Instead of tea. But we're having a big lunch
could you
today.
serve it, I suppose you could serve it with rice as well if you
could
wanted
serve
to.
it on
couscous.
top of rice. Yeah, on top of rice.
Quinoa if you're extra healthy.
Extra healthy quinoa.
I don't think
Or
I've ever cooked
Or
quinoa.
couscous.
Couscous, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like couscous. I don't like the texture of it. Have you? What about you, Carolyn? Do you like the texture of couscous? I'm not a big fan.
I don't hate it. I don't know. I can't remember hating it, so I would say it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. All right, let's put my...
Or if you want to be fancy, you could do it with polenta.
Oh, yes.
That'd be delicious.
That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Okay, these will come back out of hiding. My onion glasses, everybody. Remember these from last year? My Dame had the onion glasses, so when I cut the onion up, I won't cry tears. All right, so here we go. I'll just dice the onion like we normally would do. Then put the frying pan on. So this is a really quick dish to do. After, I try to make things as easy as possible for you guys after work.
Would you be able to freeze this?
I think you would, yeah. If you've got leftovers, you can freeze them. They probably, if you put them in the fridge, you know, if you do want to put it in the fridge, I think you could probably keep it for a couple of days. You know what I mean? And take it for lunch. All right, so I'm going to turn the frying pan on again. And I don't need to add oil because I've got enough oil from my chicken, the fat from the chicken, you know, the chicken breast.
Yep.
And I'll just do that till it's translucent with my spoon. See, do you think I need more oil maybe? What do you reckon, Carolyn? Maybe a little bit more oil. Or do you think that'll be enough? That's from the chicken.
It's really just to stop it sticking.
Yeah, that's true. I'll just give it a little spray. Doesn't matter. There you go. Right. So just move it around. Because,
Smells good.
yeah, it does smell good. I might turn that down a little bit.
I remember at high school we had to make gravy
Oh.
and you had to make it properly using cooking your onions and everything. And everyone else was having trouble getting their gravy to brown, but mine was lovely and brown because I burnt my onions.
Oh, you burnt the onions? Oh, you're a duffer.
But I had a nice brown gravy.
You had nice brown
So
gravy.
you do have to watch the onions because they burn pretty quickly.
And what did you have on the brown
I can't
gravy?
remember what else was in it. I just remember the gravy.
And what did you serve it with?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember.
I just remember the gravy.
I'm going to turn that up a bit because I'm going to add now my liquid.
But I don't make gravy from start. I use grey box.
Yeah, I use grey box too, I must admit, or the really quick one. So that's translucent now, if you want to come over and have a little look. See how it's sort of changed colour and it's nice and shiny? That means it's translucent. So now we're going to add in our sauce, our pasta sauce. Sizzle, 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 sizzle. Okay. Turn that down. And a can of the cherry tomatoes.
I didn't know you could get cherry tomatoes in a can.
Yeah, you can get them from Coles.
There you go. Probably can get them everywhere. I just haven't looked for them.
Okay.
So could you use normal tomatoes in a tin instead of
Yeah,
cherry
you could
tomatoes?
if you wanted to. Yeah, you could use normal tomatoes. Okay, so also to that, I'm going to add, this is a little trick, a little bit of water. And that way you get, that's a tip, so you get the rest of your, just chuck it in. We are going to add some basil leaves to your taste and some Italian herbs. I'll turn it up so when it starts to bubble, we'll put the chicken in. And then we'll turn it down and simmer it for 15 minutes. Just go like that. I'm going to turn this right down. Look, how does that look, love?
It looks delicious.
It looks nice. Pity we don't have smell-o-vision.
Yep.
So that's going to feed 5 of us today. Now, also too, do not waste this. This is the juices from the chicken. So we pour that in as well. Put the lid on it and simmer it for 15 minutes. Put the lid on it. So in about 15 minutes, we're going to come back. So have it on a medium sort of thing. You don't want it to boil, but just see how my frying pan here, I've got, this is where I've got it on. Not high, but just in the middle, like that. And then if Carolyn wants to come over, you see how it's sort of sizzling, but it's not sizzling. Does that make sense? Because what it'll do, it heat up and the heat will get to where it needs to be, and then it'll switch it off and keep it thin. And it'll keep it nice and moist. So we'll come back in 15 minutes. We will mash the potatoes and then we'll serve our chicken. So see you soon. Okay, so this is our chicken. It's been simmering for about 20 minutes. So this is what it looks like. Looks good, doesn't it?
Sure does. Smells even better.
It smells even better. So now we're going to mash our potatoes. Okay, so we just get some butter. I'm using nutlets today. So if you're, that's a nice nuttery thing. So just a dollop like that. I haven't got my trusty beaters today. I'm doing it the old-fashioned way.
I was going to say,
I
what's
know.
going on?
I forgot them today, so but luckily. And a little bit of milk. And then we just mash them. Like this. Oh, yes. See how I'm mashing it, getting everything through. And then I stir and just test it. Needs a little bit more milk. The butter's going through it, so let's put a little bit more milk in there. Like that. And mash it again. Looking fantastic. Okay. And that's our mashed potatoes. So we get a piece of chicken breast. Right here. And we'll just maybe cut that one in half a little bit. Some aren't as big as the others. Okay. Let me get our trusty spoon. Pour the sauce over it. Like that. Little cherry tomatoes. And then we get feta. You want feta on yours, love?
Yeah.
This is for Carolyn. And you sprinkle a little bit of feta on
The
top of it.
benefits of being the camera person is you get lunch first.
And we've got a bit of feta on there. And that's Tracey's Greek chicken. Or what's the tea with Tracey?